What is going on, YouTube fam? Welcome back to the Organized Millennial. Today I am finally going over my emergency fund because this has been a long time coming, my friends, a long time coming. And I finally am sitting down to do it. You'll notice that I am back in my 8.5 by 11 just because I do want to make sure I use up as much of this planner as possible since it still has a couple months left. So if I have some one-off kind of videos that aren't necessarily related to like my monthly budgets or my paycheck budgets, I probably will hop back into this one just to use up as much of the planner as possible, because obviously, you know, we paid a good, nice, pretty coin for this, and I'm not about wasting the pages. Like, nah, homie. Nah. So for today's video, I'm going to be laying out my emergency fund, how much I need to have saved to be able to survive for 1 month, for 3 months, and for 6 months. The big goal is to hopefully get it to like a year's worth of emergency funds, but obviously this is going to be my starting point. So for those of you who don't know, I'm sure you guys, if you've never heard the term, I'm sure you can already kind of guess what emergency funds are, but they're exactly what they sound like. They are savings that you put aside in case of emergencies. I know, mic drop, y'all, mic drop. But essentially that's what it is. And what constitutes as an emergency for me may be different for you. So again, budgeting, like every other aspect of budgeting, is really personal. So it depends on what, you know, you decide to use this for, or what you consider an emergency. And what I would do is make sure that you have that decided prior to starting your emergency fund. You know, are you going to be using this for a car repair, or are you going to be using this if you lose a job, or are you going to be using this for a home repair? Like, think about when you would tap into this before you start, because I think that will help you kind of stay focused when things do come up on where you want to pull the money from. So that's my 2 cents. That's my 2 cents on that. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started, friends. So I'm going to go ahead and write out my categories, and then we'll get into the different amounts. We have the mortgage. And when you're thinking about emergency savings, it kind of brings you back to the basics when you think about budgeting. So if you guys follow Dave Ramsey, which I'm sure many of you who watch me do, he talks about your 4 walls essentially. And your 4 walls are making sure that your basic needs are covered. So typically your 4 walls are comprised of housing, so you want to keep a roof over your head, transportation, food, and your basic utilities. So like electric bill, gas bill, like your basics. And those are typically your 4 walls. So housing for me would be my mortgage and my condo fee. And then my kind of basic utilities would be my electric bill and my natural gas. And then I'm missing transportation would be my car payment. These are kind of the basics. I haven't included groceries because I'm going to try to kind of do them the same way I would normally do them. So then I'm going to include my cell phone on here. For me, I pretty much do everything on my cell phone, so I need my phone. It's also my primary means of communication. I don't have like a house phone, so I'm pretty much getting all of my communication through my cell phone, so I consider that to be a necessity. I'm going to include Apple Music, or Apple I should just say, because I have music and storage on it. I wouldn't say it's necessarily a necessity, but I am going to include it in there because hopefully I'll still be able to do the things I'm currently doing, which would mean filming, and of course my music is everything, you guys know. Okay, so then I'm gonna go ahead and swoop in with groceries here. And gasoline. I'm kind of going through my cash envelopes in my head. I'm gonna keep beauty in here. I'm gonna keep some spending. And I want to keep car insurance because I need that to keep my car going. And I want to keep car maintenance. And then, let's see, am I missing anything? No. And then I'm actually going to have a miscellaneous category. So my miscellaneous category is what I'm going to use for buffer, for unbudgeted expenses that will still happen. You know, even if whatever emergency takes place that I have that I need to start using from this fund, unbudgeted expenses will still be there, friends. So I'm going to try to account for that within my expenses, or the amount that I save, if that makes sense. So let me go ahead and go through the amounts. So we have the mortgage, which we know is $1,372.51. Oh my God, if it was $700, I would cry. $1,700, like stop. My condo fee, which is $325. My electric bill. So when you get to the kind of variable bills like natural gas, electric, those vary depending on the month. So I'm going to go on the high end for it just to make sure I'm covered. I tend to overestimate, and it's what I recommend you do if you're setting up kind of how much money you need for your funds. I always overestimate. I would rather have more money in the bank waiting for me, and if I don't need it, great, but I don't want to run out of money. Like, that's where I don't want to be. So some of these things you'll see that I am overestimating quite a bit. If you follow the channel, you kind of have an idea of what I typically pay for these things, but you'll see that I might overestimate some things because of that. So for electric, I'm going to do $100. Generally speaking, my electric bill is less than $100 almost always. The only time this past bill, or this month's bill, I think, is a little over $100 because it's summertime and I'm using my AC like a psycho because it's hot. But typically it is very low. My gas, I'm actually going to account $200 for. I know that sounds wild, you guys, but in winter months, I have had bills that are higher than $200 before. That's definitely the utility bill that is the most expensive for me during winter months. So I'm gonna go ahead and put $200. My car payment, as you guys know, is $300, so I'm not gonna put any extra for that. I'm gonna just average out about $70 for my cell phone. Apple is $13. So I'm kind of rounding them up as much as I can, just to have like a solid amount that I would need. So groceries. Oh, you guys, I'm gonna go ahead and say $400 for groceries for a month, because that's typically what I see myself spending. So I'm gonna save that. Gas, I'm going to do $50 a month, which is not what I typically spend. But again, I'm totally overestimating these amounts. Beauty, I'm gonna give myself $100 a month. This is mostly for my hair. I can do my nails on my own, but my hair needs lots of tender love and care, you guys, that I cannot give it, sadly. So we are going to keep the beauty category. Spending, I'm going to give myself $100 for spending. Obviously, this is not a category that is needed, you guys. I kind of use this as one, if I want to do some spending, sure. But also kind of as another miscellaneous category, because spending is pretty open-ended. Like, you can spend on anything. pretty much. So I'm kind of using it as another almost buffer to my miscellaneous, if that makes sense. Of course, I'd like to have some money that I can buy something with, so I'm not miserable. But this is an emergency fund, so it's not really meant to be fun. It's meant to be in there for emergencies. So I'm gonna budget out $100 for it. And I'm going to have a miscellaneous category for everything else that happens. But know that you don't have to include that when you're creating your emergency fund. Like I said, budgeting is personal. Do whatever works for you that will, sit right with your spirit, that will make you happy, etc. I watch Erica a ton. I'm always using her stickers, as you guys know, Erica from Erica Life Vlogs. And one of the things she says is, if I don't give myself some spending money, I'm going to go off the wall. Like, I'm going to have unbudgeted. I'm not going to be able to stick to my budget. I have to give myself some spending money. And I think I'm kind of aligned with that, honestly. At least I don't have a sticker category. Let's just have an amen for that for a second. There is no sticker category. Okay, so car insurance, I'm going to go ahead and just do the normal $50 a month. And the amount is the monthly amount, and then I'm just going to multiply it for the 3-month and the 6-month one. So, okay, so car maintenance, I'm also going to stick to $50 a month for that one. And then miscellaneous is hard because you just don't know what you're going to need. I'm going to go ahead and do $200 for miscellaneous. I feel like that's a decent cushion, and that'll hopefully absorb some blows if they come throughout, whenever. Hopefully I never need to use this, but if I ever need to use this, hopefully that'll absorb some of the blows that might come while I am kind of living off of that. Okay, so that is it. I don't think there's anything else I want to add, but you guys know I like to leave myself a few spaces in case I think of something that should be on here that I didn't think of before. But I think I have it covered. So now what I'm going to do is total up my 3-month total. Actually, no, I'm going to total up all of these for my 1-month total to see what I need, and then I'm just going to multiply that out. So let's go ahead and total that up. Just for the sake of keeping it uniform, I'm just going to change this to a whole number. I'm going to round it up and make it $1,373. So that equals a total of $3,331 for 1 month of expenses. Good news, I do have that in my savings account, so I have at least 1 month of expenses, you guys. Yes. Okay. So let's go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and go through the 3-month and the 6-month, and I'll try to speed you guys through the 3-month, and then I'll come back for the amount. So let's do that. All right, you guys. So I went through and did my amounts for my 3-month, just some highlights. Not that they're surprising, but still, it's very different seeing things on paper. Like, you have an idea of what things are in your head, especially when it comes to your numbers. But when you see it laid out, there's like a certain like reality that washes over you, and you're like, damn, I need a lot of money to survive. Obviously the big one here is my mortgage, which is not surprising. So I would need $4,120 for 3 months worth of just my mortgage, you guys. That doesn't even include my condo fee. $975 with the condo fee, and oh, look at that. Look at what else is the highest. $1,200 to eat. You guys. Okay, let me not do too much of this before I lose my mind. All right, let's total this up and see what the total is that I need for 3 months worth of living expenses. Hang on to your socks, friends. This should be a hot mess, basically. The exact total was $9,995. I'm just gonna round that puppy up to $10,000. So I need $10,000 in the bank to have a fully funded 3-month emergency fund, friends. We haven't even gotten to 6 months. Here we go. I'm gonna total them up for the 6-month category, you guys, and we'll see how much I'm gonna cry in a second. Man, let's just total it up. I have no words. For some of those amounts, I have actually no words. The grand total for 6 months worth of living expenses is $19,986. I'm just gonna round it up to $20,000. Y'all, why is life so expensive, y'all? Why? Why is life so expensive? That's my question. If you have an answer to this question, please do your girl a favor and leave it in the comments, because like, what even is this? Like, what is this? Oh my God. All right, you guys. So basically, let's just do a quick recap. For 1 month worth of living expenses, I would need about $3,300. For 3 months, I'd need about $10,000. And for 6 months, I would need about $20,000, the price of a car. So that is what my emergency savings is looking like, you guys. If you guys haven't done this, I know many of you are already saving towards emergency funds because y'all kick ass like that. But if you guys haven't sat down and actually done this out, like looked at the numbers, it's kind of a really big reality check when you think about how much money you actually need to survive. And like I said, there's some things on here that may not be on your emergency savings. Obviously, like I said, feel free to make it whatever you need to make it to suit you and your family's needs. This is what would suit me and my needs. It's just wild, basically. So I highly recommend actually doing this, as much as I am cringing, because it's cringy to look at these high amounts that I would need to have saved. It's a good reality check to be like, where's your emergency fund at? Do you have an emergency fund? Have you even thought about saving? Have you thought about what would happen if you or your spouse lost your job or had lower income or things like that? And helps you kind of direct your goals in the right way. So you're not thinking I have $5,000 set aside. I'd be good for 3 months. You probably won't, sis. If your numbers look anything like mine, you probably won't. So I am going to go ahead and just lay down the savings log really quick, since I have you guys with me. And of course, I got these stickers from Erica Life Vlogs, you guys. She's always linked in my description box down below, because I'm pretty much only ever using her stickers. So, you guys can always find her linked down below. I'm just gonna go ahead and get my savings log down really quick. And I will start. I don't know how often I'm going to update this. I do have a few pages left, so I think I might just continue it on to the next page and call it a day. So that way I can keep track of what I'm saving. Like I said, I always have money put in my account every time I get paid, so twice a month money goes into my savings account. And yeah, I think I'm just gonna put it there, and then I'll update this as I kind of go. So far it's going to be through my paycheck savings transfer, but once I kind of get my debt paid down a little bit, hopefully I'll be able to throw more at this emergency fund, because it's really important, you guys. If you guys are wondering, right now I am almost at the 3-month mark, which is pretty good, but it's going to be a while between that 3-month and 6-month mark, if we're being honest. But Anyways, you guys, this is my emergency savings numbers laid out. I hope that you guys found this helpful. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, as it really does help support my channel. And as always, you guys, thank you so much for watching. Let me know down below in the comments if you guys have already set up an emergency fund, and if you guys know your numbers, and if you were surprised when you saw how much you need to live for 6 months or 3 months or whatever the period of time was that you set up your emergency fund for. Let me know how this experience was for you. Were you as shell-shocked as I am right now? Did you cry in a corner? Tell me. Tell me all of it down below, you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.